2, 1, go. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I am Raphaella, and I'm here today.
It's okay.
Why? Have you never seen the videos? This is how it goes.
I actually just saw one and then I started, I did.
Welcome to my channel. I am Raphaella, and I'm here today with a special guest. We have Emmanuel Louis.
Yeah, Raphaella,
Thank you, that's me.
Of course.
So welcome to the channel.
Yeah,
I'm very excited to have you here today.
I'm glad to be here too.
I'm starting something new on the channel, which is prior to asking the guests some questions, I want people to feel very relaxed. I want it to be a little bit more interactive, to just let loose a little bit. Okay. So we're going to start with a quick game of first thing that comes to your head. You just have to answer, you can't think about it.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm basically the guinea pig, innit? Let's get it.
No, you're not. Okay. Christmas or New Year?
Christmas.
What's more important, one's reputation or integrity?
Integrity.
Domino's or McDonald's?
Domino's.
Summer or winter?
Summer, any day.
How do you keep your technological skills current?
Just keep working on it.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
What's one word people would use to describe you?
Adventurous.
Apple juice or orange juice?
Apple juice. Mix both, to be honest.
What?
Facts. You ain't tried that?
No.
Oh, you need to.
No, sorry.
The crowd will love it. Put a little alcohol in your wine diet too.
Why do they don't drink alcohol?
Then it's okay. You can just have the apple juice and orange juice.
Okay, what's the most important quality needed in a developer?
Patience.
Money or happiness?
Happiness. I got one there as well. Got the happy tag.
Oh, okay.
Show it.
Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge?
Google Chrome.
Really?
Yeah, facts. Microsoft Edge is dead.
I really like Microsoft Edge.
You're just used to it, aren't you?
That too. Pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes.
Rain or snow?
Snow.
Alright, so that's that. So do you feel loose? Do you feel ready to go?
Well, that was alright.
Okay,
yeah.
Alright then. So hi to everyone who is new to the channel. My name is Raphaella and this is my graduate series. So what happens in this series is I invite a bunch of professionals from different sectors to come and talk about their experiences getting into their field. So we've had quite a few guests so far. I'm gonna put a link to the playlist up here somewhere so you can check it out. But today we have Emmanuel Louis, who I met years ago when I went to visit Tani in Nottingham. We went on social media, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And he's Cameroonian, I'm Cameroonian, so I was like, and then since then, we've just been acquainted, we've just been friends. So it's really lovely to have you here today.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for everything that we have to discuss. It definitely was not easy booking this.
I can tell. I'm not one for the camera that much, but I'm always behind the box. But this one, I don't mind.
I'm excited.
Yeah, you pulled me out of the bank.
I did. But yeah, I'm excited. So without further ado, everyone get comfortable and I hope you enjoy. So before we start, I suppose it would be nice for you to introduce yourself. Who are you? What is your job title? What do you enjoy doing in your free time? What's the best country you've ever traveled to?
Okay, that's a lot of questions, so we'll have to break them down one by one.
Yeah, I mean, just tell us random facts about you. Introduce yourself.
Okay, I'm Emmanuel Chombe. I'm Cameroonian, born and bred in the UK. I think that's a nice start. And then my job title, I've done quite a few different jobs. So, but I think at the moment, I own a tech company called Loop Music, a mobile app for musicians to find each other. It's basically like an Uber, but instead.
Don't tell us too much yet.
Okay.
We're gonna touch upon that.
Alright, cool. And then I also work part-time for Google as a Google specialist. In my spare time, really music. I like music, playing football, or just creating stuff really. 24/7 I'm always like making up a new gadget or a new software or something. And I like traveling. The best country I've been to so far is very random actually, is Prague.
Oh,
in Czech Republic. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What did you like about Prague? It's very interesting because my cousin and I, we went to Prague.
It's got two sides. It's got like the really churchy side, which is the part where you go like the whole have you heard of the, what's that thing, the Infant Jesus of Prague or something, which is like one side of Prague which is very religious, and then the other side of Prague is literally like a party zone. So it's like
That's
one
where
side. You
went.
No, I was in both. I was mingling on both sides. So one side you're here being, and then the other side you're like, yeah, let's get it.
So what did you like about it so much then?
The design. The architectural design in Prague was like,
it's beautiful.
It's so beautiful. It gives you room to imagine quite a lot. So for me, I always like that when you go to a city and you can tell its identity based on the buildings and stuff. It says a lot about the place.
Yeah.
And the people were nice. They gave me free drinks.
Okay. All right then.
Is that enough of an intro?
Yeah, that's all good. So I guess let's jump straight into the questions. So you obviously say that your job title is a Google specialist part-time, a tech entrepreneur, director of your own company.
Yeah.
Very big mouthful. I have so many questions, but I'd like to keep the questions structured. The interview structured. So I suppose, could you start off by telling us about your academic trajectory, what you did for your A-levels, whether you knew prior to going to university what you were going to do, and yeah, what did you study at uni?
Okay, we'll start with the last question.
The last question?
Oh no, it's okay, I'll go backwards. So you said my trajectory.
Yes, your academic trajectory.
So I think I just going to start from secondary school.
You could start from secondary
Yeah, I
school.
think I went to secondary school in Cameroon. Weirdly enough, I got sent back to boarding school. Yeah. Anyone that knows, they know. Like when you're a UK kid in a boarding school, yeah, it's a rip-off. I really enjoyed it. The freedom from there was really nice. And then I think after that, I was really good at science.
Okay.
And I was really good at like drawing and stuff. So it was always that merge between my creative side, which was a lot, and then your science side. But in places like Cameroon, it's very one or the other. They don't give you room for both. So I think when I came back here, and then I did like maths, physics. I don't know why I did chemistry, but I did. But it was terrible. And then French, and then after that I got into Brunel University. At that point I chose to do engineering. My reasoning behind it really was just, I really liked that I was between mechanical engineering or software. I just liked the aspect of being able to create something from scratch really. And then mechanical engineering involved having to deal with other people. Software engineering involves me having to deal with a computer. So I was like, yeah, well, this is it. Kind of just jumped into the computer engineering, but I didn't know anything about it, to be honest. I think probably my first term, like, they gave me my grades and it looked awful.
Really?
Yeah, but it turned out alright. I ended up acing it. So I think, and then I did after that I did some work experience. I did electronic and computer engineering in University of Brunel, and then moved on to Nottingham and worked there for a bit before I did engineering and entrepreneurship for my master's science. So yeah, that's my educational trajectory. Yeah.
Okay, all right then. And actually, so talking about work experience, if I'm not mistaken, you did an internship / placement in Spain, was it?
Yes, I did.
Could you just talk more about like how did you go about finding that work experience? Is this something you would recommend? Oh
yeah, definitely. Definitely. It was really good. I'd say the best part about it, I ran into it. It was an Erasmus program for young entrepreneurs. And they normally, the EU, the European Union, normally do a lot of programs around young people, trying to get them in different countries so they can shadow maybe an interest point that they might want.
Yeah.
Mine was obviously I just knew I was going to get into the business world. After my work experience, I was like, how do I find out about it? And I wanted Spain mainly because I like the language, the culture, and just how it works really over there. I'd done my research around it, and yeah, I applied for it. Just after my masters, I applied for it during my masters, and then I got in, and you can pick between 1 month to 12 months, where you can pick any country and the European Union would pay you to live there and work there for that time period. So I picked 3 months, but you could have done 12. And yeah, it was really good. I did some stuff under some people doing like funding proposals and stuff based around the EU. So I learned quite a lot around understanding the language around applying for funding and stuff like that, which I wouldn't have known if I was just here. So I would definitely recommend it for anyone. I think it definitely takes you out of your comfort zone and it forces you to grow in a way that you might not predict if you're in your comfort zone quite a lot.
Yeah. So that's something that your university offered, the Erasmus program.
I found it.
Oh, you found it.
You found that.
Okay.
Just go on Google and sometimes just look at programs for young people abroad, and you'll be very surprised some of the things you can find. My university definitely only found out about it after I mentioned it to them.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because I know when I did a degree in Middlesex, they had an Erasmus program that they were advertising for students in like different subjects. So I definitely know some universities like do that, but as you said, people could just search it. So guys, search it. And do you feel that it advanced or even propelled you into your career thereafter?
Yes, it did. It definitely gave me a lot more direction in terms of what it took to be an entrepreneur. I think until then it was kind of like, play. Like it just felt like I was working on this project, and it was a project. I think just before that, once I got there, I could see how an entrepreneur, the decisions they have to make, how swift they have to be about it, their assertiveness in terms of even why certain things are done the way they're done, in terms of meeting up with regulations and all of those other things. Those were things that I found out while I was there, so it definitely helped. I would say for anyone who has a career path, like depending on what you're into, it is good to, I know there's 2 Erasmus programs, the one you do in the first year, or the second year or so.
Yeah, I think the second year.
The second year, and then there's one that you do towards that is separate to just being in uni. So I would definitely recommend it to anyone.
Okay.
So,
and just like with any other job sectors, obviously work experience is quite crucial. Do you have any websites or any recruitment agencies, etc., that you could recommend to like viewers out there who are looking for a profession in tech or engineering?
Okay. There are 3 things here. I would say, obviously, there's the normal work websites that you can find, like Reed, Total Jobs. There are quite a few. I'd think of them. But then I do know that one of the best ways that it worked for me in terms of finding the jobs I was after was I make a list of like, I'll shoot my shot, 10 big ones that I want. And then I'll go directly to them on LinkedIn.
Okay.
And pin them, see what they're after, and tailor myself directly to that, and reach out to as many. Because I think people underrate how important a place like LinkedIn is.
Of course.
I think most of my best jobs definitely came either through LinkedIn, and the third one was reach out to recruiters. They normally are actually looking for people to. So not when you go on Read and you see like what the job is, and then you see by a particular thing, that by job title by this, that's the recruiter. Find them and go directly to their website and look for them. You'll find they know 10, 100 more jobs than the one job you're looking for.
That's true.
So yeah, definitely.
And do you think that people who, for example, did a degree in another field could still go into a job in tech or engineering?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so. I think the thing people always misconstrue of engineering is they feel like engineering is just a bunch of numbers and codes and whatnot, which, to be honest, there are aspects to it that is. But engineering in total, in its simplest form, is just solving problems.
Okay.
So once you are able to identify a problem that you want to solve, and you're persistent enough to find out the different ways of doing so, you are doing engineering in some sort of way. Okay, the coding aspect and all of that, that can be learned. Those are just skills that go along with the main targets that you get from engineering. But I think there's a lot of there's transferable courses now. I was even looking into there was Udemy and a couple of other online schools that do coding courses. There's W3 schools where you can learn coding at your own time, even if at your beginner level, or you just wanted to learn anything in engineering. So there's a range of different courses out there. Even just recently, I was a couple of months ago, I was doing artificial intelligence course with a Harvard school, but it was online.
Yeah.
So like you can find this is the persistence part that I think people get lost in a bit when they get
or discouraged by Okay, so thank you for that. So now you work as a Google specialist. How competitive was it to get into that role and to work for that company? How did you get into it?
Now I think about it, it's been a minute, but how did I get into it? I used to there was a period, and this is for, I think, it's most times people just mention straight the success part, they don't mention the hard work that goes into it. And I think for anyone that's viewing this who is in that process of the hard work, it is equally as important as the success. Obviously now you see the Google and whatnot, but the part that you wouldn't have known is that prior to the Google job, there was, after my uni, I had a whole year of applying for over easily 500 jobs, right? And I was just going at it. But the one thing that I did know, looking back, it's hard looking forward, but looking back was the aspect of, whilst I was doing that, I was working on my own personal projects, doing things that I wanted to do, trying to create products that I enjoyed. So when the Google one came, and funny enough, I'll tell you a side story after that, but when the Google one came, being able to show these little projects that I've been working on definitely gave me a better competitive advantage than maybe someone who just came in with a degree, because it showed that I was passionate about whatever I was doing, kind of thing. So I think, and the project don't have to be like really technical, to be honest. I think what did I even work on, like, it was a calculator, and then the other one was like a supermarket, booking an online supermarket or something like that. But so stuff like that. And what was the other thing? I made a banking software at some point. But these were just little things that, and it didn't take me necessarily 1 month or 2 months. This was something that had built up over a 10-month period to the period where when that job came in, it was like, oh, what do you do in your spare time? Oh yeah, I do this and that and this. And it's like, oh, okay, I'm intrigued. So I think just being able to be yourself.
But I think what I'm hearing is also not be stagnant.
Nah.
Like you have to keep trying to create things, or at least show something for your time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be too much. It could be a website. It could just be even just something little. It's just, don't go into, as someone whose job as an engineer or software person is to create stuff, it is very, very counterintuitive to enter an interview room without having anything to create that you've created.
Of course.
Yeah. It's like being a musician but you have no music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. And have you been part of any well-renowned Google campaigns or ads?
Yeah.
Have you? Like, name one. Or is there an NDA there somewhere? If there's an NDA, let's not get in trouble.
No.
Swiftly moving on.
I'll name the ones that don't have NDAs.
Okay.
The Google Pixel 4, that was a good campaign to be on. The Chromebook, I'm on the Chromebook campaign right now. They've been doing a lot of stuff around that. Google Homes, you know, like the Alexa type. Yeah. I enjoyed playing with that.
Really?
That was fun. They had
my Google Home doesn't listen to me.
Oh boy, your Google Home needs reconfiguration.
She's over there in the room. She doesn't listen to me. Over the weekend, I was here. I could hear something playing, and I was like, "What's that?" That was the first time she's worked in 2 months. She was just working by herself, and I'm like, "This is scary."
I think she's copying your character.
What do you mean? Go.
Yeah, I'm looking for trouble.
Copying my character. She just does what she wants. So,
No.
excuse me.
Oh wait.
I don't need attacks on my channel.
No attacks here. This is all love.
But okay, that's so cool though.
Yeah, that, to be fair, I think actually the best campaign was when they did this. I can say they did a Google bus, a smart bus, you know, like the British bus.
Yeah.
And then they basically turned the British bus, painted it into a Google thingy, and then they turned downstairs into a living room and a kitchen, all smart, like when you talk to it and the curtain comes on.
Really?
TV, curtains close up, you have a disco light pop out of the top bit, and then upstairs was like a bedroom and stuff. All smart, like basically you didn't need to touch anything, you just say it, and then that was sick to configure. It was cold though.
At least I did the heat there.
I was like, how do you guys have a nest and you don't even utilize it in the one place that it needs to be utilized?
Wow, that's so cool though. It sounds so fun. Like there's so many different projects, etc.
Yeah.
And to be part of such a like innovative, you know, company, it's quite amazing, really.
Weirdly enough, I think. Okay, we're going a little playoff. It was, I remember having an interview for Microsoft, right? And it was in Belgium. And for some reason, I don't know why, and I only saw this interview. I'd applied and everything, and then the interview popped up a week later. I'd literally seen it a week after the email had played out. And I was there beating myself up, like, oh my gosh, how can you miss out on a Microsoft interview? And then the Google one came in like a month after that. And looking back, you even said Microsoft or Google. Any day I would have preferred Google. So it was just like...
Why are you being biased?
I don't think I am. I think there's aspects to Microsoft that I really do like. Not the search engine. That's just it's too all over the place for me. If it's like the computers, definitely. I do prefer a Windows computer any day because as a coder, I need a strong machine, and Microsoft gives me that. So I'm not biased on machinery as long as it does its job.
I see.
Yeah, but
okay, all right. So last but not least, you are the director of your own company called Loop Music.
Yeah. The one I didn't have to give spoilers for.
Pardon?
The one I didn't have to give spoilers for.
Yes,
Yeah,
because
basically.
now we're going to talk about it. So please tell us all about it. Like, where did like your inspiration come from? What was the vision behind Loop Music? And then how can the people go about signing up to it if they're interested?
Okay. You know that period where I mentioned just finish uni and you're in limbo? Like, most people get this, right? But it's really dependent on the perspective of how you feel around that period in time. Some people say, I'm just wasting my time because you get a lot of family pressure and all of that. And then that moment between when I got my first job with Parexel, which is the pharmaceutical company, there's NDAs on that one, so I wouldn't say too much in regards to them. But when I did work with them and some interesting clients, and the period where I just finished uni, that 1 year period, there was a lot of exciting projects that I allowed myself to be involved in. Loop was definitely one of them. And there was, I think, like an animation project and a few things that I was playing around with. And I remember my friend come to me and he's like, oh, he wants to make a streaming app. And I'm just there like, huh? A streaming app? This is 6 years ago, so Spotify wasn't like big like that yet. But we're like, if we do this, you definitely would, by the time we build this, it will be taken out of the market. And then we just tried to figure out what can we do to help a lot of our musician friends that were, you know, looking for a way into the industry. And we realized once we went into market research and stuff that a lot of, not just musicians, but people around music, so it could be photographers, videographers, producers, illustrators, were struggling a lot with finding either studios or a like-minded person to work with to create the project they were after. So loop music at that time felt like the ideal solution for a problem that had been faced. We did definitely a lot of our questions and stuff, and it seemed to be a pattern popping up. So we built this app, which was a mapping system that shows you in any area you go to, it can show you someone that's a videographer, a video editor, a illustrator, a graphic designer, a producer, a studio, or even a music resource in the industry that someone might need. It could be some tech stuff or funding, that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's all in one basically. So that's basically loop music in a nutshell. In terms of the inspiration behind it, we just started it as a little project trying to help our friends out, and the project was fun, to be honest. And then all of a sudden it turns out to be a massive need. So interest that's coming in, and then it has to be, it's now the project is now turned into a business, and then the business is now doing really well post-pandemic due to the aspect of people have been at home for so long and they want to now work. So yeah, I think in terms of a business, there's periods where you definitely have lows and highs, but if you really like what you're doing, you'll be fine throughout. And yeah, I think the aspect that really kept us going was the fact that it was not necessarily just about the money. As a businessman, you think about the money, but it has to be, you have to have a goal bigger than money.
Absolutely.
And, you know, not listen to anyone else, basically. But yourself and your gut. So, yeah.
Thank you for that. And so do you struggle with managing, you know, your other part-time job and then running Loop? And also, do you envisage in the future ever just focusing on one?
Yeah, like if I was to sit here and go, oh no, I don't struggle, this is a piece of cake, I'll be lying. You know, I think in every aspect of life, and this is not even just for me, I think for any person, there's always going to be a struggle point, right? I think in general, as human beings, we just choose our struggle. So I chose my struggle to be the fact that I want to have a business and I want to own something, and I'll do whatever it takes to do so. And obviously I have a part-time job which teaches me all the skill sets I need to be able to be the best tech entrepreneur that I need to be. It does come with its struggles, it comes with its challenges. The aim would be eventually to create some amazing stuff in the future and own it. So I potentially would be moving more towards my business than my part-time, but obviously you have to feed yourself somehow. So I think the balance of both, and just being true and honest to myself as well, I think is one thing that has kept me going on both sides when I'm struggling either with my work or with business. Is every time when I get in, I have to do the best I can for both.
Yeah.
And if I'm tired, I go and rest and sleep, or wake up the next morning and figure it out. Yeah.
That's all you can do.
That's all you can do. You know, if you sit down, you're trying to break your head over things that you can't control, then you'll never get nowhere. So I think you just have to, what is within your control, for those who are viewing, what is within your control, definitely do it. And do it to the best of your ability, and enjoy doing it, enjoy the process. And what isn't within your control, just live on, just leave it.
That's true.
And weirdly enough, it always plays itself out. That's how my work, business, or tech or part-time, everything that has not been within my control, by doing what I can do, it just plays out right in front of my eyes. Probably not today, might be in 2 days' time, so be patient as well. So yeah.
Exactly. But all right, so thank you for all this. We have to obviously wrap this up. So to conclude with our little talk, and I have to ask you a question that I obviously ask all my speakers, and for the benefit of those watching, what is the number one advice that you would give to other young graduates out there trying to make it into the field of tech/engineering, and specifically pertaining to lessons that you've learned or things you wish you'd known? Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's a lot.
Your number one.
Number one.
Yeah.
Dream big.
Okay.
I think if you're going to enter the field I'm in, the world is a field that's constantly changing. What might have been today is not necessarily what it's going to be in 2-3 years. And I know it's scary sometimes to tell a young person it's okay to dream big, because weirdly enough, and I'm glad to some extent I did a little bit. I think when I turned 21 or so, my uncle asked me to write down a list of all the things that I want to achieve by the age I was 25. I was thinking, what the hell is this guy talking about? Sorry for pardon my French, but I literally wrote down as many and as grand as they could come. And weirdly enough, I want to own a company, I want to work for this, I want to have a master's, and all these things that I mentioned, they played out right in front of me. So I think that's the first thing, is definitely dream big and believe in your process. Don't be complacent. Don't procrastinate. Or I can if you put your mind to something, there's always going to be someone that tells you no, you can't do it, but they can't see what you see. So you just have to go at it. That's the one thing I think I'm happy younger me did. If anything, I would have taken more risk than I've taken so far. So yeah, definitely, I would say dream big, go after it, and actually execute. You gotta put the work in. There's no shortcuts to this. It's constantly evolving yourself, learning and trying to improve. So yeah.
Love that. But okay, so this brings us to the end of the chit chat, the interview. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I hope that it was able to help someone out there. Guys, honestly, if it did, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Please make sure to comment below to just share your thoughts and to thank Emmanuel for being here today. And if you haven't done so, please consider subscribing to the channel and turning your post notifications on. So I have a new video undergraduate series that comes out every single Wednesday until we run out of speakers.
Basically.
Yeah.
I even forgot to say something as well.
What did you forget to say?
I don't know if there's obviously any people, musicians or whatnot out there, but the website is www.loopmusic.co, not com, co.
.co, that's it, not even .co.uk.
Nah.
.co.
Nice and short form.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wish we had more time, because there's definitely a discussion that we had about like copyright, etc. But we honestly did not have that time today. But anyways, if you guys want to have a chat with Emmanuel, go on the Loop website, find him, look at who designed the website, go find him, and then you can ask him all your questions. Do you have a LinkedIn?
Yeah, I do. Emmanuel Chombe. You can pop it there.
There you go.
Yeah, should be fine.
There you
go. Reach out to me, and hopefully you find me.
Exactly. But thank you for the insight.
You're welcome.
All right,
I
guys.
hope you help someone out there. So
I'm sure it will. But yeah. Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in today, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.